Hello, this is www.horseracingaustralia.info. I'm Garry Robinson. I'm happy to have a look at my form analysis for the Doncaster for 2019. And what a race it is. If you want to get information on how to get my analysis for all the other races, simply click on horseracingaustralia.info, click on the store and then order for the weekend. Okay, let's go and have a look at this big race. Amazing thing is you can see how many runners there are. There are 24 listed here, and it's a fantastic race. It's worth $3 million, and everybody's in it. Now the old guys, they used to always say that you needed a good 2,000 metre horse in order to be able to win the Doncaster over the 1600. So you're looking for horses that are going to have plenty of steam left when they get to the 200 and they're fighting out the finish. So anyway, one of the important things is, I've discussed with you before about one of the items you can get on the GTX program is what we call traffic lights. And these are simply measures of whether or not we're going to bet on this race. You see we've got two reds here. Normally we wouldn't bet on a race with this size, but obviously there are emergencies there and the field will be a bit smaller, but it will be pretty big. It's from the 1600 at Randwick, which is a very roomy track, and I wouldn't worry too much about the barrier positions. We don't allow any penalties for barrier positions over the 1600 at Randwick. That's worked out well for us in the past, and probably, or possibly, should do so again. We are hoping for no worse than a soft 6 track, and hopefully soft 5 or even better. It was a good drying day today. Tomorrow evening, that's Thursday evening, they're expecting a few showers, but only about 2 to 5 millimetres. All they've got to do is hold off on watering the track, and that'll do it for them. Okay, and if Friday's a good temperature day, which it's supposed to be, and again mid-20s on Saturday, we should have good racing conditions. So the point about this part of the analysis here is we're looking at what ratings we've got for the various horses. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 criteria here, and it's related to the horses and their conditions and what various places rate them. So as you can see, there's only one that gets practically all green stars, so it's got the go, and that's Fundamentalist. The disappointment with it is that's a 3-year-old filly. Nothing wrong with the handicap, only 49 kilos to carry, but it is a 3-year-old filly. However, look at what she's been racing in. Group 1, Group 1, Group 1, Group 2, Group 1, Group 1, okie doke. And look, it's only won over 1,000 and 1,200 metres, only 2 wins from 16 starts. But whose fault is that? Look who beat it last time, the Autumn Sun. It had to beat in every place except right on the post. Previous start at Randwick, at Group 1, lost in a photo, beaten so narrowly. I was on it that day too at $13 for the win. And you can see that's over and over again. It's very close up in every race it is, and it's racing well up to 1,600 metres. So it's no doubt that it's probably going to lead. It's had 6 starts at the distance, placed 5 times. It's certainly of the quality. The problem is, as I say, a 3-year-old filly against all horses, and that's going to be the problem. However, worth a shot. The interesting thing is Hartnell is an 8-year-old, but when you have a look at the form, it was second last start at Flemington, and that was to Mystic Journey. It was only beaten 1.3 lengths, came from 8th on the turn to finish 2nd. Hugh Bowman rides. Caulfield before that was 3rd, only beaten a length behind Alizé. And of course, if we go back here, it won the equivalent of this race, would have been the Epsom, and that was in September last year, where it rated an 81.9, once again ridden by Hugh Bowman. So it's a massive, massive good horse. Possibly not as good as it was now that it's 8, but certainly deserves to be in there. Has had 4 wins at this distance, but more importantly has also had 4 wins at the 2000. So at the end of the trip, it's going to have plenty of gas left in the tank, and that's the important thing. We go to our next rated horse, is Shillelagh. Now, this one was second, only beating a nostril to Harlem in the Australian Cup over 2,000 metres. Once again, a 2,000 metre horse. Last start in the 2000 was beaten by the heavy track. If we have a look down here, it's had 4 starts on heavy track, not even placed. On slow track, 4 starts for a win and a second. on a good track, 21 starts for 4 wins and 4 placings. Has run here 4 times, no result, but that's probably more a reflection of the sort of grade that it's been running in. It's only had 34 starts. It's going top notch. That's the only race it's had a problem in. It was slowly away, and it was checked near the 600. So everything was wrong, and yet it still only finished 9 lengths behind them. Was probably eased down by Craig Williams, the rider, again tomorrow, and I've got to give her every chance of being in the finish again. If we look now at Lure Main, doesn't need any talking to. 17 starts at Randwick, 5 wins. The distance, the 1600, 8 starts for 2 wins and 2 seconds, and they've been Group 1s. So in the Group 2 at Rose Hill on the 2nd of February, he was only beaten 2 lengths behind Alizé, then beaten less than 2 lengths behind Alizé over 1400. And then in that last race, the big mile with the big prize only got beaten 1.7 lengths. So that's a fantastic performance, and you would be folly to not be in it. Can handle all track conditions, by the way. That's an important thing because we don't know what it's going to be like on the day. Widgie Turf, I'm a little bit concerned about Widgie Turf because even though it made a 74.5 rating for Winform, that was on the 16th of February. Should have won at Wangaratta in a much lower grade race. Won a listed race last start at Flemington. Took a while to get to them. Ran a very good time, a 69.9 rating there. Is going very, very well, but has not been racing in this company. This is a Group 1. There you are. We've got a Group 3. We've got a Group 2 where it was narrowly beaten, and another Group 3 where it only got beaten by a neck. At its best, doesn't have a lot to carry, only 52 kilos. Billy Egan rides. Great rider. He's had 10 wins from his 27 starts so far. Okay, once that happens, we go down the list. We could look at them all. Alizé was a little bit disappointing when running 3rd at Flemington behind Mystic Journey, but was faultless before that. Its highest rating, however, for us was a 68.7 in a 1200 metre race. No doubt she's first class. 5 wins from 10 starts here, 8 from 18 altogether. Yeah, that speaks volumes. From barrier 12, should get a good run in transit. Will be hard to beat. Now, here's the thing here. We've got this one has got all boxes ticked, you might say, except for one. This has got all boxes ticked except for one. Glen Boss is on it, and Brutal is a 3-year-old colt, a little bit different from a 3-year-old filly, which is fundamentalist, but was a last start winner at Flemington, rated to 69.9. Also rated a 74.5. That was at Flemington on the 16th of February. Hasn't rated any better than that, would need to lift to a new level, but has 10 wins from 27. Whoops, I'm looking at the wrong horse. Sorry about that. Brutal, there's Brutal. That's the one I'm looking at. Brutal, come on, come back to me. There it is, with all the greens. Okay, so Brutal, 3 wins first up, very smart. 3 runs from a spell now, just beaten narrowly in that defeat. Was well beaten, 3 lengths. Slowly away, checked near the 800. Not good enough. Couldn't beat Trapeze Artist if it started now, probably. However, in this particular race, ran 2nd. That was a good run behind Winks, obviously. That was a heavy 8 track, though, and will obviously perform better tomorrow. So it's a bit of a risk, I think. But nevertheless, as I said, a lot of opinion says it's a really good chance. So there we are. So our 2 that have the best chance, according to all the rating specialists, including myself, will be Fundamentalist and Brutal, both possibly being, because they're 3-year-olds, getting the light weight. They're both on $49. How the hell are they going to get down to that weight, eh? Okay, no weight to carry, but you can't also fail to give Hartnell, Shillelagh and Le Romain a chance. As a matter of fact, most likely what I'll be doing is getting into those, and maybe I might even include Unforgotten here. Has had 3 runs from a spell, has done well, got an 82.4 here when it was 3rd behind Hartnell in this in the Epsom last year. So it's got to be a chance also. Also goes much, much better on a firm track, and that's going to be the key to it. But maybe you could think about taking something like a first 4, and maybe you could take this top group of horses in here for the win and add these others to run a place up to Unforgotten. I wish you all the best of luck for Saturday. I really do, but it's going to be a fun day. Every race is a group or listed race, and it's going to be a fantastic day out there at Randwick. Good luck, and thanks for watching.